You didn't know you were going to be the star student, did you, Nancy?
No, I did not.
There you go. Well, hey everyone, we are here. If you're catching this on the replay, it is our Soups on Meal Prep Workshop, our five different meals that are all based from the Soups on Meal Kit. And you're going to notice that the way that we're doing this is a little different. Sometimes we've done meals where we add all this, all the liquid, and it really just takes up a lot of space in your freezer. And then too, if you have a puncture in the bag and you get it out and defrost it, you could have a mess on your hands. So this is looking a little bit different if you have the prep instructions that you're following along with, as well as our video. So stay tuned. I'll give you a little bit more of those details about adding the liquid at the end. And we have Wanda here and Nancy here. Nancy is actually prepping the meals, and Wanda is on our team. So she is joining us to check it all out. So, Nancy, we're going to be starting with the creamy wild rice ganache soup. I think I said that wrong. No, no cheese. I always say it wrong. I always say ganache, but
Gnocchi.
it's gnocchi. Yeah, I said it.
Gnocchi.
I was like, it's not ganache. I'm like, it's gnocchi. I got chocolate on my brain.
That's all right. When I asked at the
Ganache.
store, that's what I
Yeah,
said, ganache. And then I said, it's not ganache.
yeah. Oh, and I even knew it was gnocchi. So what we're going to be doing with this first recipe is we are going to be adding, if you haven't done so already, you want to add 1 pound of cubed boneless chicken breast to a quart-sized freezer bag. And then you're just going to seal that, get the air out of your bag and then put that aside. So that's the first step. And we'll let Nancy do that. Nancy, did you already do that? I don't know. Like, did you already do that? Okay, you're doing it now.
No, I was just cutting it and I'm putting it in the bag now.
Perfect. All right. So one of the things that I like to always mention if you're going to be watching this on the replay for the first time, I do like to double bag, like have an outside bag that actually has the name of the meal. I also love to put the date that the meal was made. That way, if it gets somehow shoved down to the bottom of your freezer or in the back of your freezer and you find it months later, you know how long it's been in there. Um, and so that's what I would mention on that. And then two, one of the other things that you can do if you're interested in this is um, you can um, you can put like slow cooker so that it's a slow cooker meal. Um, because that way too, if you're looking for a meal that you can just throw in to throw in a slow cooker and go, it's always nice to kind of have that somewhere written on your bag. Okay. And so that's kind of something I just got in the habit of doing early on. The other thing that I want to mention is, Nancy, if you can hold up a Ziploc bag for us, just any Ziploc bag, if you'll hold one up. So one of the things when you have your Ziploc bag, if you open the top and you fold it over, you open your space up and it allows you to better be able to put the ingredients in without getting that all over the seal because we want to make sure we have a really good solid seal there when we close the bag off. And one other thing that you might want to consider doing is if you have a large bowl that you can place your gallon-sized bags and quarts, not so much your quart-sized bags, but your gallon-sized bags like what Nancy has there, it's a great way to keep your bag from tipping over and possibly spilling out some of your ingredients. So, Nancy, great job. Thanks for being the show and tell person. Nancy and I go way back, so she doesn't mind, I guess. Or
No,
maybe she doesn't, she's just playing along.
no, we're good. We're good.
Right?
We're good.
Ah, all right, so Nancy, in the next bag, we're going to do another gallon-sized bag. And this one, what we're going to do is we're going to be adding that the gnocchi and your 2 cups of fresh broccoli, not broccoli, spinach. Oh my
Okay.
gosh, the girl can't read today. I know what greens we needed. This is what happens when you're cleaning your house most of the day. And so Nancy and I were talking before we started the recording that she could only find the frozen gnocchi, not the refrigerated kind. That's perfectly fine. You're going to throw this in the freezer anyway. So just be aware that, you know, if you can't find exactly what you're looking for, you can make those substitutions. Different grocery stores, you know, sometimes we're out of some of the products that we need, or they don't carry a certain line of things anymore. So it, you know, just be aware of that. So it should be 12 ounces of the gnocchi, and then you want 2 cups of fresh baby spinach. And if you need to tear that up a little bit, that's great too. Now, the seasoning that we're going to be using for this meal is going to be the seasoned pepper. And this is one, if you don't know this already, it has no sodium in it. So it's a really great product seasoning to have on hand for many other recipes. If you have someone in your family that's looking for the low sodium or no sodium options, you don't give up the flavor, but you do give up the sodium, and that's a great thing. Especially if you are like me now, who have had some heart issues and are needing to watch the sodium levels. So. All right. So Nancy, once you have those 3 things in the bag, then we're going to be getting the air out of that and freezing that.
But
Or I mean,
you said 3, the
sorry,
spinach and the gnocchi, the
so
spinach and the gnocchi.
yep, and then 1 tablespoon, and I never said the amount, one
Oh,
tablespoon
sorry.
of your seasoned pepper. I hadn't said it yet. I was just talking about what it was. So,
What it
and
was.
if you look at your cap, that is didn't we say that
The
was
the
teaspoon?
teaspoon.
That's all.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's only teaspoons, but you're gonna want a tablespoon for this one.
Hmm.
And again, you always want to get as much air out of your bags as possible. We want to ward off the freezer burn, so that we don't lose the flavor and have freezer burn is never fun. So
So Kelly, I have a question. I'm looking
sure.
at the Soups on Workshop meal prep. So will you
Mhm.
put all this together, but then when you go down, when you make it, you follow the directions on the package
So
along
what
with,
you'll y- yeah, so we're not gonna you could put all your liquid into the bags too, but
right,
it just is not it just takes you're dealing with issues that you might like. For example, one of my friends, we did a soups on and we were putting the tomato juice in, and she flipped her bag over and it went everywhere. So
Um,
just to wait and put the water in at the right when you're getting ready to put it into the crock pot, and then your heavy whipping cream goes in right at the end. So you'll just
but then
follow along. Go ahead, I'm
do
sorry.
you follow along on the directions on the package? Oh, no, I see it. It's farther
It's right at
down.
the bottom.
I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah. And you
I should
can
have
it
printed it out. I'm looking
that's
at it on my phone.
no worries, no
Okay,
worries. You can, yeah. So this one, my friend Angie Zalotowski, was the one that put this particular uh prep instruction sheet together. Like I did the Tex-Mex, she did this one, and so she, like I said, knows with the soups, it's way easier if you don't put the liquid in ahead of time. And so that's why
okay,
she has like needed when serving, which really means when you're getting ready to cook it, when you're ready to simmer the soup.
okay,
And
okay,
then she gives you the cooking instructions down below that in case you don't have the cookbook with you. And then she
okay,
shows you that. So
okay.
Nancy, do you have all that in the bag a while?
So I have the gnocchi, the spinach and the seasoning and then the
Perfect.
chicken.
All right. So if you want to seal that gnocchi bag up, we'll close that
Yeah,
off. And then you're going to want one more gallon size bag
Okay.
because we're going to be putting the chicken, the gnocchi bag,
Oh, yeah.
the bag the pouch of the creamy wild rice soup mix, and then 1 bag of frozen vegetables. Like just a bag that you haven't opened yet. If you already opened them, it's no big deal, but you can just throw those in. And then Nancy, when you're finished, if you don't mind holding it up and showing us, that would be great. So, and then we have 1 meal already put together. So,
Wow.
and we were talking too. So, I mean, like we take extra time when we're talking about stuff. So
Yeah. Right, so,
perfect. That looks great. She's got it written on there. She's got everything in the bag. And now that one is ready for the freezer. So, all right. Thanks, Nancy.
mhm.
All right. So the next one that we're going to be making is our peppery chicken noodle soup. So a take on our traditional chicken noodle soup. You're going to need 1.5 pounds of cubed chicken. And that's boneless, skinless chicken breast. And you want to put that in a gallon-sized bag. The reason we're putting this one in a gallon-sized bag is because we are going to be adding extra ingredients to this one. So that's why the first recipe we said you can put it in a quart-sized bag, and this time we said put it in a gallon-sized bag. Now, if you only have gallon-sized bags, no big deal. And you do want to be mindful though of having freezer bags. That way that it's going to be good to put in the freezer. If you didn't have freezer bags and you just did a double bag like I suggested, that can help guard against that freezer burn as well. So Nancy, we'll just let you get that done, and then we're going to be doing a cup of carrots chopped. Oh, I like this. Are you cutting that?
Yep,
That is
Right.
great. So is that a Pampered
I
Chef
forgot I
scissors?
had my scissors, yeah, my kitchen scissors.
Yeah. So she's just cubing up her meat right now, and then she'll be putting her vegetables in with her bag um of chicken. And so this is pretty straightforward, very easy. Um and the thing I love about this is it's very few ingredients. You're going to be you have carrots, celery, onion, seasoned pepper, the chicken, and then the home style egg noodles. And then when you go to actually make it, you're going to add your reduced 6 cups of reduced sodium chicken broth or chicken stock. So I think that's great.
Okay.
Now, if you want to add in additional vegetables, you could always do that. But for this one, we're just doing the carrots, the celery, and then the egg noodles. So pretty easy.
So I was at an event
Yes.
and someone asked me if we would ever consider having hummus mixes. And I thought it was a great idea.
Yeah.
So I
We actually
admitted,
had, yeah, there was we have some recipes for hummus on our website. And I'm glad you brought that up. We have thousands of recipes on our website. And you can just go in, and when you go to recipes, you can do a search, like type in hummus, and then it'll kind of like do a database search, and then you just have to click recipes again, and it'll show you all the ones that we have available recipe wise. So
I didn't even think to look up a recipe for it.
yeah,
I knew we didn't have a mix for it.
right. And I think at one point we actually did, but just like the cheese balls, we change those out every 6 months. So like
Mhm.
for those of you that are tuning in on the replay, you'll find these, like the changes season, we introduced our fall winter catalog in August, and then our spring summer catalog launches in February. And so those are the times that we see the changes. And then we also sprinkle in limited time offers. So you can always check out the different things that are, popping up here and there with specials like our
Mhm.
pumpkin spice cheese ball that's still available for the time being. So
I haven't had a lot of people interested in that.
No,
It's a different
May-
one.
maybe sample it with whipped cream, Cool Whip.
Really, that one would too also, huh?
Mhm. Or you could do the Nana's pumpkin bread. So there's a recipe to take the Nana's apple cake with the pumpkin spice cheese ball
Oh,
and make it pumpkin bread instead of Nana's apple cake. So
oh, I bet that is good.
yeah, yeah. If you sample that, it's pretty good chance it's gonna sell. So
Yeah.
yeah. Nance, how's it coming?
It's coming. I'm getting the celery. I did not think to get this cut up beforehand.
And you know
So
what? That's my fault. That's one of those things where I probably should have told everybody like, hey, you can go ahead and chop up your veggies ahead of time. Don't feel
yeah,
rushed. Take your time. So,
that's all right. Wait.
and if they're catching it on the replay, they can always fast forward. So, not a big deal. Yeah. So, so Nancy, did you look through these and think which one you might want to try first?
Um, I don't, I was excited about the soups because it's that time of year and I love soup. So,
I know. Yeah. That
yeah,
potato corn chowder, wowza. That's
is that,
one
is,
yeah, one I like. So
yeah,
well I mean not that I don't like any like, but I really like that one. So yeah.
mm,
And then obviously, chili is always awesome.
yeah,
So my friend she loves our Wahoo chili seasoning. She swears by it. She says she wins chili cook-offs all the time. She's like, whenever I have my Wahoo chili, that's when I always win my cook-offs. And I'm like, that's so cute,
ah,
that's really awesome. So,
Yeah.
yeah. We just did a cook-off at work, chili cook-off, and I won with my Firehouse chili. So,
oh, it's awesome.
yeah, recognition
Very
for the
cool.
year.
Nice. I like it. I like it. I was just checking to see if Bonnie was having trouble getting in.
Speaking of soup, I think there's a recipe to make pumpkin soup with that mix, isn't there?
There is a pumpkin soup
I
recipe.
bet that would be good.
Yeah. I don't know. I never have looked at that recipe. But I should definitely look at that. That would probably be
Yeah,
really good. Yeah.
and it'd be different. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
All
And this
right,
was the
we
time of
can,
year for pumpkin.
yes, it is.
For sure.
All right,
So Nance, how you doing with you got the carrots
I
chopped
got
and the
the
celery?
chicken. Oh, yes,
Okay.
yes,
So
I
this
do.
time we're gonna add 1.5 tablespoons of the seasoned pepper and 1.5 tablespoons of the onion
Okay.
in the bag with the chicken.
The tablespoon, you said.
Yeah, 1.5 tablespoons. Sorry. I have I have a Facebook party, two Facebook parties going on, and somebody was commenting in the party. So I apologize if you just heard the dinging sound. So like, where's that sound coming from? It's just Kelly's Facebook. So and I don't know how to turn on, I know I feel like I'm great with technology for the most part, but then it comes to like having a notification that mutes everything. And I'm like, what did I do wrong that it's not being quiet, behaving? So, oh well.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Nancy, you're doing tablespoons, right?
Yes.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure. And then the only other thing for this one is if you have the home style in a separate, like you're just gonna leave it separate, um, label a 12-ounce bag of frozen home style egg noodles. Just label it
Okay.
with the soup name. Um, and then place both of those bags into your gallon freezer bag, seal that up, and you are good to go with this recipe.
Okay.
And then we're on to recipe number 3. Recipe number 3. So Wanda, if you were going to make these soups, or when you make these soups, which one do you think you would start with?
So I can't pronounce it. I was gonna sit and wait till we got to it. But
Carnitas
what is that
pozole?
word? Yes,
Pozole?
what is,
I think it's pozole. Um, and you know what? Long time ago, this recipe has been around for a little while, and I forget what that means.
I love carnitas.
Yeah.
So that's the one, that in the Wahoo chili. Now, honestly, I would eat every one of them, but I live
Right.
with a gentleman who, well, my husband, but he doesn't like cheese and he doesn't like, it makes it hard.
Yeah.
But
He's like, I'm gonna make a half a batch of this. So it is pozole. So the E on the end is an A sound in Spanish, and it just
uh-huh.
means a thick soup. So
Oh, okay,
so
so
it's like,
that's the one I really want to try, and of course the Wahoo chili,
yeah,
but they all sound good, but I mean, he doesn't even like noodles.
Oh,
So
wow.
that makes it really hard.
it does. But I
Is he
tell
the
you, since
palate of
I,
a 5-year-old or something?
yes, meat and potato. So since I
There you go.
became a Tastefully Simple rep though, it's
Yeah,
amazing. The meals I can make that he'll eat.
well, that's great.
It's just, I have to dance around a lot of stuff.
Does he
Or
do
lie.
mashed potatoes?
He does.
Does he
Yeah.
do stuffing?
No.
Okay.
That
There was this,
roasted herb stuffing one, yeah.
there's a slow cooker chicken stuffing and chicken recipe, but it's served over mashed potatoes. It's phenomenal. So
Hmm.
yeah, it's really good.
So I had to take the key lime cheese ball
Yeah,
and create a pie recipe because he won't eat cream cheese. He loved
I
the
remember,
pie.
I remember you saying that, like that you
Oh,
always do,
yeah.
you were changing things up. So good.
Yeah. But it
All right.
works.
That's good. That's good. So Nancy, are
Yeah.
we ready for the potato corn chowder?
Yes.
Awesome. So now this one is a vegetarian dish. You're not gonna be having any, you don't have any meat, so this could be like a meatless Monday soup, if you do something like that. And you're gonna add a pound of cubed baby red potatoes to a gallon-sized freezer bag. And in that same bag, we're gonna be adding other ingredients to it.
Okay.
So just let me know when you are ready. And this is one of those recipes again that is using cubed potatoes, diced up red peppers. So if you are following these instructions, you can always pause this and then you go do your chopping and then come back into the workshop. Um, so, all right.
I love this soup, but
Yeah,
I would be the only one eating
right,
it.
right. You would have to portion it out into smaller portions like
Yes,
Debbie does. So,
yeah.
yeah.
This would definitely be a winner, I believe, for us. So,
Yeah. So the next things that you're going to be doing is, now that you've got your potatoes cubed and they're in your gallon-sized bag, you're going to also be adding you'll be chopping up one red pepper and dicing that up, and then you're going to add that to the bag with the potatoes. So with those peppers and the little sweet peppers now that are out there, we were over her house last night, and what she did was she sliced them in half long ways, and then she stuffed them with goat cheese, but she had a goat cheese mixture of goat cheese, an Italian herb seasoning, so like our rustic herb you could use,
mhm.
and then she used some garlic powder, which you could use our Italian garlic. Um, and so she mixed that all together, and then she stuffed all of those little sweet peppers with it. And I think she baked it for just a few minutes just to warm them up, and melt the cheese and everything. And then she drizzled it with that balsamic glaze. They were phenomenal.
Hmm.
I mean, they were so good. So if you
Hmm.
have those at home, or next time you get those, or you need a quick and easy appetizer, that could be
Yeah.
something pretty yummy. So yeah. So in addition to the red pepper that you're going to be dicing up and adding to the potatoes, you're also going to add a one package, a 16-ounce package of frozen corn. So you might choose to get like a Mexican corn, whatever kind of corn you like, whatever's on sale, whatever you like, that's what you can get. And that's going to be thrown in the bag with the potatoes and the red pepper. So makes that pretty easy.
Are we taking them take it out of the bag, or we're just separate?
Yes, go ahead and open that bag and dump it into your gallon size bag. Great question. And then we're going to be using again our onion and our seasoned pepper. This time you're going to need 2 tablespoons of onion and 1 tablespoon of the seasoned pepper.
So I just got the mini pepper. And that's the seasoned pepper. It's just the mini one.
Yes.
I've already emptied it.
Oh. Oh gosh, I hope I wasn't telling you a tablespoon and it was supposed to be a teaspoon. Hmm. Um. So you don't have any pepper left at all?
Not of that, no.
Okay. Um,
I might have,
so let's just not add any more. Obviously, you can't add any more. I can bring you some if you want me
that's all
to.
right.
Because I have extras of those. I was like, yeah, but the capital T I know is
Yeah,
I was
the
like, it
capital
should
T is
be
in
is a
tables, yeah.
tablespoon. I was like, what happened there? Yeah, I'm not sure. That's weird. I'm wondering if the 1.5 maybe could have just been 1
Mm,
from that one recipe ahead of the previous recipe. So
that's all right. So,
but yeah, so
the
just do the
onion.
just do the 2 tablespoons of onion. And for those of you that are working on this, it'll be a little late, but you could always use regular pepper if you wanted. But Nancy, I can always, like I said, put a
Oh,
little
it's all
packet
right.
of seasoned pepper in the mail for you or drop it off to you. So now this next thing is you're gonna add this is optional. You can either write on like put a cup of shredded cheddar cheese in a quart-sized bag, and you can just write on the bag like potato corn chowder, and then just you could put it in your fridge, or you can put it in the freezer in the gallon size, like the second gallon size bag that you're gonna put all these bags into. The choice is yours. You can freeze cheese. So, I always think it's better just to put it in the bag and have it all together so that you don't
Mhm.
miss out and be like, I totally forgot, that cheese, or we used it for something else. So that's why I usually will put them all together. So you've got your gallon size bag with your potatoes, your pepper, your corn, and your onion. Hopefully you had a little bit of seasoned pepper left so that you can still use it in this one. And then that bag, you get the air out of seal. Start your second gallon size bag, and just like Nancy's doing, you're going to put your potato soup in there. You're going to put your quart size bag in with of the shredded cheese, and then you're going to put your mixture of the potatoes, peppers, and corn in that bag as well. So you've got a gallon size bag, a quart size bag, the soup, all in an additional gallon size bag. Way to go. Thank you.
Okay.
All right, we are getting ready to go on to the slow cooker carnitas pozole. And this is basically it's a thick soup. Usually has the white hominy in it. Um, this is gonna have 1.5 pounds of cubed boneless pork roast, loin roast, and you're throwing that into the gallon-sized bag, and then we'll be adding a couple extra ingredients into that bag. So that's what we're doing next. If you haven't labeled your bag, make sure you do that. All right, so we are doing the slow cooker carnitas pozole. You've got your cubed meat in your gallon-sized freezer bag. And to that bag, oh, thank you, Nancy, for showing that. We are going to be adding one 15.5-ounce can of white hominy. I hope I said that right. Rinsed and drained. So you do want to rinse that and drain it before you put it in your can. And then we're also going to be adding one 4-ounce can of diced green chilies to the bag with the meat. And this one is going to be the only Tastefully Simple product that you're using for this one is going to be my favorite, which is the, chicken tortilla soup. So, and that one won't get opened. We're just going to keep it closed in its pouch, but we'll put it in the extra bag. So. So Wanda, the recipe, because Wanda was knocked out of here for a few seconds. We're on that carnitas pozole, and we've got Nancy has the cubed pork already in the bag. She's got the hominy in the bag, and she's done a 4-ounce can of the diced green chilies. So this is all that's going to go in this bag. She's going to close that off, get as much air out as possible, and then set that bag aside. And then
Okay.
in a quart-size bag, she's going to take 4 of the 6-inch corn tortillas and just tear them into small pieces, because she'll be using that in the soup later. So
Okay.
you can either cut or, tear and just throw those in your quart-size bag. This Tastefully Simple product is the chicken tortilla soup mix. So that pouch, along with the quart-size bag of the tortillas and the mixture of the meat, those 3 bags will actually go in the last gallon-sized bag, and that meal will be ready to go.
So I had my recipes on my cell phone, but now I have to use my cell phone to watch. So what is
That
the
sounds good.
technical
So-
nightmare? What is the meat we're using?
This is going to be a pork loin roast that was
Pork
cubed up.
loin. Okay.
Yep. And again, just like we're not doing the liquids in and really the soups or any of the bags at this point, when you go to make this one, you're going to be doing 5 cups of water in the mix. You will cook this. You can do it on low for 6 to 7 hours in your slow cooker, or on high for 3 to 4 hours. And then you can
Okay.
always add, like when you go to serve it, you could add like the crumbled queso fresco, lime wedges. You could do avocado, those crunchy tortillas, some sour cream. The toppings could be whatever, since your
I got
husband doesn't
some.
do any of that. Yeah, I love
Could you-
those.
Could you
Yeah.
drizzle the queso over it?
Oh, I don't know why you couldn't. Yeah. I think
Yeah.
the queso probably would, because of the heat of the soup, it might sink down into it, but I mean,
Oh.
why not, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Be
Yeah.
worth a try.
For sure.
Okay.
For sure.
All right.
All right. So Nancy's now putting those items in her bag. And that meal is prepped and ready to go. And we are moving on to soup. Well, actually, we're not doing a soup for the last one. We're actually doing chili for our last one. So, and this is a little different than like the typical, like if you think of, like, a lot of times we think of soup or chili with ground beef in it. This is actually going to be beef stew meat that you're using in this next one.
Yum.
I know, right? So Nancy, you ready for the Wahoo beef chili?
Yes.
All right, here we go. So this one, all we're going to be doing is adding 1 cup or I'm sorry, 1 pound of the beef stew meat to the gallon size freezer bag. And then we're gonna be adding a few items to go along with that beef. So. And this one is gonna be using our Wahoo chili seasoning. As I mentioned, I think earlier, my friend loves the Wahoo chili seasoning because she says she wins chili cook-offs with it. So don't hesitate to enter your chili cook-offs with some Wahoo chili in it. And you can even make dip. A lot of people don't really realize this, but you can even make a dip, a Wahoo chili dip, simply by doing sour cream. You could do a cup of sour cream and 2 tablespoons or a tablespoon and a half of the Wahoo chili seasoning and whip that up together, and you've got a nice little dip. So, just a side note that you might not already know. Right, and so with your the stew meat, we're going to be doing a few things that have to be chopped, and we also have a couple other things that we're going to be mixing in there. So Nancy, you're going to need 1 medium onion that you're going to chop, and 2
Okay.
ribs of celery that you want to chop up and throw into the bag with the meat.
Okay.
All right. So in your stew, in the bag with the beef stew meat, you're going to be adding your chopped onions, your chopped celery, and then you're going to also be adding 2 cans of diced tomatoes, and that size is going to be a 14.5 ounce can. So you need 2 of those into that bag, and then you need 1 15-ounce can of tomato sauce. So this one is a saucy one. We're gonna have a lot of sauces in there a while. So Nancy, how you doing on that?
I'm opening my cans.
Perfect. And on this one, when you are cooking or when you're making it in your slow cooker, you're gonna cook this for on low for 6 to 7 hours or until the beef is tender. And so at the end, you'll be towards the end of it, you'll add your beans. The next step is beans. You don't do those until towards the very end, so they don't get all mushy and gross at the in the cooking process. So
All right, and we're dumping those tomatoes
yes,
and
yep,
the,
and yep. So you're going to be doing 3 cans. You're doing 2 cans of the diced tomatoes, and then 1 can of the tomato sauce, all in your gallon size bag where the meat is.
and I bought the petite diced.
That's what I like too. I'm more of a petite diced tomato person myself, so now the next step is the next ingredient that there'll be 2 more ingredients in this bag. We're going to be doing 4 tablespoons of our Wahoo chili seasoning, and then a 1/4 teaspoon of some ground cinnamon. Now, Nancy, will you hold up that cap just so that we can remind everybody that is 2 tablespoons. So you're just going to do 2 of those. And if you're worried like it might be too strong for your family, then back it off a little bit. I wouldn't really go over 2 tablespoons though.
Okay.
I mean, or 4 tablespoons, I mean.
You know what? I know what I did. I thought this was 1 and it's 2. So that's where I must.
Yes. So one of yours is going to be pretty peppery.
Yeah.
So. All righty. And then we're going to be putting a little bit of cinnamon in this one, just a 1/4 teaspoon of cinnamon.
Sorry, I forgot to set the cinnamon out.
No worries. No worries at all. And so once Nancy has the cinnamon in the bag, that's all you're going to need for that. I'm going to suggest closing the bag up and just kind of like shaking, not shake it because you don't want it to pop open and spill everywhere, but just kind of, let that, kind of mix it all together. and then open it back up, get your air out the best that you can. And then we'll be moving on into our quart size bag. And then when you're going to serve this one, if you want some toppings for this one, you might choose to throw some cheese on top or some sour cream, maybe some jalapenos. So. And again, I love this because it's a little bit different than the typical ground beef that we find people, using for their chili. Now, of course, you really could use that, if that's, you could do the more traditional Wahoo chili recipe. But this is a great way to kind of mix it up in just a different way. And then we're going to be moving into our quart size bag. And in our quart size bag, we're going to be doing one large bell pepper diced, and then 15-ounce can of kidney beans, and you want to rinse those and drain them before you put them in the bag.
Okay.
It's easy enough, huh?
Yep.
And I just think this is the perfect time to be making these meals since it's just starting to get colder. I just saw as we're recording this, in the lower left corner of my screen, it said dropping temperatures on Thursday. And I was like, oh, this is a perfect time for soup weather. Time to make some
Yeah.
soup up. So yeah,
You guys got a lot of rain today, didn't you?
we did. Yes, we really did. Yeah. Some heavy stuff in the morning. So yeah. Now keep in mind that as you go to prepare these, you will be adding your liquid. And I know you're not going to probably be able to see it, but yes, you can. That's awesome. So here on the prep instructions, it's going to show you the liquids that you're going to add as you're getting ready to cook these up and throw them in the slow cooker. So a number of them, you're just adding water. So the creamy wild rice gnocchi soup, you're going to be adding water and eventually having whipping cream. In the corn potato chowder, you'll be adding water, and then towards the end, you'll be doing a cup of half and half. And then for the carnitas pozole, you'll be doing 5 cups of water in that one. Now with the peppery chicken noodle soup, that one is going to be 6 cups of reduced sodium chicken broth or stock. If you don't like a broth that has like a sodium content to it, you could always go into one of those unsalted ones, because you are going to have a pretty good amount of flavor from the peppery or the seasoned pepper. So just keep that in mind. And then with the Wahoo beef chili, that one's not going to add any extra water to it because you've already done the tomato sauce and the diced tomatoes. So there's plenty of liquid going to be there. So. And then,
All right.
that's it. That's all we've got for this one. So you're going to take those 2 quart-size bags. I'm sorry, the gallon-size bag and the quart-size bag, and then place those in your second gallon-size bag. And we've got our last meal made for our soups on. We've got them prepped. And it's just after 8, and we didn't even start right away. So I think that's pretty impressive. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Nancy, I can't wait to hear what you think of these meals and what the family
All
thinks of
right.
these meals.
Yeah.
I hope that they love them. Wanda, when you get a chance to make them, I hope that, well, you might not get a chance to make them since your husband's really picky. But hopefully you get to make at least one of them for yourself. How's that? So, and then we will be doing another meal
I
prep.
think the carnitas. I think the carnita one.
Yeah, you're gonna try that one? That's awesome. So in December, so this month is November, and in November, we actually are talking about doing for December doing our cookie workshop, where we actually prep 5 different types of cookies, and then you bake them on your own time. So just know that that's we're looking at that to be I don't have my calendar handy, but I will let you know. It's towards the beginning of the month. And we're still toying with the idea of like, should we do a meal prep workshop? We feel like in December, a lot of people are so busy with holiday get-togethers that doing the meals might seem like a lot. And we thought the cookies could be a kind of a fun, different twist on doing all the meal kits, and everything. And then it gives people time to finish off the meals that they've made over the last couple months. So, but we are looking at doing those cookies. I just got my cakes to cookies kit, and there's a lemon thumbprint cookie, peanut butter chocolate cookie, a chocolate chip, a chocolate toffee cookie, a cherry pistachio cookie, I think it is, and I'm drawing a blank on the last one. Oh, a snickerdoodle. So, yeah, so it will be a lot of fun.
Yum.
Hope you all can make it, and more details to come on that. So,
All
well,
right.
thanks, Nancy. And Nancy, thank you
Thank
for
you.
being our Vanna tonight too. We appreciate you being our person
Yes,
on that
thank
could,
you.
yeah, so show everyone how to make it and show everyone that it goes together very easily.
Yes,
And
it
again,
does.
we'd love to hear, yeah, and we'd love to hear from you, which one you love the most, or one when you try them, just let us know. So,
All right.
all
Well,
right,
thank you.
thanks. Yeah, have
All
a great
right.
night, everybody, and happy Thanksgiving
You too.
too. It's crazy,
Happy
it's almost
Thanksgiving.
here.
See ya.